To talk about this is former FDA Associate Commissioner and President of the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest, Peter Pitts. Great to have you back with us here in-house. Good to see you. I'm wondering what you make of this. I wanted to get your take on this fourth shot thing. Is it really necessary? And why hasn't the message shifted from maybe something like a flu shot? Take away the word booster and just start messaging it for people that need these shots, like you do with a flu shot every year. Hey, we're going to make this an annual thing, just like you would with a flu shot. Why hasn't that happened? Do you expect that to come?
That's the right question. I mean, rhetoric counts, words count, and scientists and the CDC and the White House have really been unable to explain to the American public what this is about. Firstly, the White House is saying these boosters are coming, but the FDA hasn't approved them yet. So getting ahead of the science, never a good thing. If science is back, you wait for the science to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
What's also interesting is if they get approved, it's not going to be recommended that people over 50 get a booster. It's going to be available. It's going to be explained. So I think the government is beginning to understand that the science of boosters is still early.
Right.
We're not quite sure what it means. So we're going to make these shots available. I don't think the CDC is going to recommend them. It probably will be a good idea if you're over 50 or a pre-existing condition. But
what do you make of the White House, though, jumping the gun? They continue to do this. They're ahead of the FDA and the CDC in making these recommendations.
Yeah, well, don't do that. Stop.
Right.
Immediately.
Right.
It's bad politics, it's bad policy, it's bad science, and it basically says to the American public that the FDA is making political decisions, which is a deadly place to go.
Right. Hospitalizations are down, deaths are down, cases have been falling for literally months now. Maybe the timing is a little off to the American public. It certainly seems like finally the news cycle has shifted away from coronavirus, but could history maybe repeat itself here? This administration could make the same mistake twice. Basically, the country was unprepared for Omicron. No one could get a test. We remember that around the holidays. And now because millions of people have these at-home tests, there's no way to track these new variants in real time because people aren't going to different locations to get tested. Should the White House, the administration, start preparing for another surge, even if that surge never comes?
Absolutely. You have to be prepared. But we also have to tell the American public, congratulations, we've done great yeoman's work. And now we can take our masks off. We've earned it. We've done the right thing. But we have to be prepared for what's coming. Rather than saying, we're not sure about these masks, boosters are coming, get a booster. We're not telling the American public the truth. We're not saying we're winning and we're prepared. That way people will listen more, I think, more attentively.
I wanted to get your take on this. You were in a week ago and we were talking about Albert Bourla. He was the CEO, of course, of Pfizer, who all these networks continue to have on and ask him whether or not he thinks people should take Pfizer vaccines, and he always says, yes, he's got to say that. He's got an obligation to stockholders to say that. But we just marked 2 years since 14 days to flatten the curve or slow the spread or wherever you was. It was flatten the curve where I was in Florida at that time. What do you make of that milestone? And how do you think that history is going to look back on this?
Well, I think history is going to look back, certainly at the United States, say we accomplished amazing things. When the healthcare ecosystem pulls in the same direction, government, academia, pharmaceutical companies, patients, doctors, pharmacists, we can get amazing things done. I think the lesson learned and what we'll hear about in the future is that set the stage for this amazing growth of cooperation in healthcare beyond COVID-19.
You think that will be the legacy?
I think that's what I'd like.
How do people like Dr. Fauci tie in?
Well, I'd like that to be the legacy.
Right.
Certainly
Right.
There's the other side where we have to recognize all the mistakes that we made, the scientific mistakes, the rhetorical mistakes, the political mistakes, and learn from them and move on.
Okay, so we were singing the praises of Operation Warp Speed almost a year ago right now to the day. It was this time last year where people were getting vaccinated for the very first time with their first dose. Then everyone that got vaccinated started getting coronavirus, and people started saying, well, wait a second, maybe these vaccines don't work. Do you still have a lot of confidence in these vaccines now?
Welcome to science.
Yeah.
Vaccines are never a be-all, end-all, cure-all. I think one of the communications mistakes was that the White House, both White Houses, told the American public, get vaccinated, you're free and clear. And that's never the case. Vaccination doesn't mean you never get sick. It means you get lighter symptoms. It means you're less likely to pass the disease on to other people. I think people are beginning to get a really solid virus vaccine education. So health literacy has been moved forward too.
That's one of the good things, I think, of the last couple of years. Peter Pitts, great to see you from the FDA. We appreciate you joining us and appreciate the expertise as always. Stay with us here on Wake Up America. We've got a lot more